I imagine a future where the sky feels close enough to touch, not as something to conquer, just something inviting us to trust. Where the night isn't empty, it's alive with quiet light, like the universe is breathing, waiting for us to catch the rhythm right. We used to look up with questions, now we look up with grace. Not asking who's above us, just asking what's our place. I imagine a moment when fear finally loosens its grip, when curiosity becomes the engine and wonder pilots the ship. I imagine a future where we're not afraid to meet. Different eyes, different bodies, same hope underneath. They speak in tones and colors and patterns older than time. They show us how the universe learns itself through every mind. They tell us we're not broken, just early in the song, that evolution isn't power, it's learning to belong. They laugh when we mention borders and gently ask us why we drew so many lines below such an endless sky. I imagine the future where we finally understand that intelligence is empathy, not the urge to command. I imagine the mystery was never meant to scare, it was an open invitation written everywhere. What if the stars remember us from before we learned to fear? What if every signal we sent out was love trying to get clear? What if silence wasn't empty, just patient and wide, waiting for us to quiet down enough to hear what's inside? I imagine first meetings without weapons or pride, just stories being traded like maps of the inside. They show us ancient histories of worlds that rose and fell, not through war or hatred, but forgetting how to care. They say your origin is deeper than dust-coated design. You come from choice and compassion, from timing and divine. They say you've always been watched, not judged, not controlled, just waited on like a friend running late to be told. I imagine shared journeys across oceans of night, ships that move like thoughts powered by insight. It's the racing as a practice, not a race to arrive. Every planet a question, every answer alive. They take us to quiet places where even memory sleeps, and teach us how to be still again without falling apart at the seams. They show us how time folds softly when you stop chasing the end, how the future bends toward those who learn how to mend. I imagine a future where learning never ends, where strangers feel familiar and enemies feel like old friends. I imagine the universe smiling back at what we became, not because we reached the stars, but because we finally changed. I imagine our children looking up without dread, seeing cuts ability instead of words left unsaid. They won't ask if we're alone, they'll ask who we'll meet next. They'll inherit a cosmos that feels curious, not complex. I imagine the question was never, are we real? It was, are we ready to become what we feel? I imagine the ending isn't an ending at all, just a wider beginning, a longer call. I imagine we were never meant to be alone, just meant to grow into the moment where the truth feels like home. I imagine, and somehow that imagining is already real.